Hey, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Evan.
All topics presented in this podcast are highly likely to contain spoilers.
We tell you this as a courtesy to you, the listener, so that we may not ruin any movies or shows for you.
Thank you for listening.
This has been your spoiler warning.
Welcome to Your In Depth. Today we are going to cover The Mandalorian, Chapter 9, The Marshal. As usual, we're just walking through the episode, breaking it down like we do with all sorts of other things. As also usual, this is Jacob, and I'm here joined by Al Zeimer.
Nice.
You there?
Nice.
I hear you now. Anyway.
Sorry, I forgot where I was for a second. My bad.
Oh. Good one. I like that. All right. Last Mandalorian episode we covered up and wrapped up season 1, so we're going to be starting into season 2 now.
I was just about to say,
like I said, chapter 9.
I was about to say, just for clarification, this is season 2, episode 1, but it is titled Chapter 9.
Yeah, the chapters keep going, but it is starting off season 2. Before we really dive in too far, I did see some Star Wars news. However, I see this was posted in March, so it's not exactly new news. So we're a little bit late here, but apparently there's potentially going to be a Luke Skywalker series on Disney Plus, and it will take place after Return of the Jedi. I just realized that some of this is a bit of a spoiler for this season 2. So I'm going to avoid reading that. But that was the headline. That's just, yeah.
I will say, though, for your news, right, for the viewers or the listeners, don't get your hopes up. This is not a confirmed thing yet.
Right. There's potentially that,
it's potential. And as we'll get into, as we get further into this chapter, we can explain a little more why it's potential.
Yeah.
But to avoid spoilers, we will not get into that right.
Yeah. So, I say then, since you said you don't have any news, we just kind of get into it. I know you're a bit pressed for time, so we're just gonna roll on.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, as with any starting of a season, we get just a summary of what happened in the previous season. But I'm not going to break that down because if you've been listening to us in order, we're not taking a break between the two. So, watch the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, we enter in Mando, and he's coming out of the darkness and of some kind of Fallout 4 looking town. The child's floating alongside him. We can kind of see some red eyes in the darkness around him as he's walking. We also see a bit of graffiti on the walls of this. And now I paused and I was trying to see if there's anything that I noticed, like any, kind of, I don't know, like noticeable icon, like kind of things on the wall. I didn't really see anything. But, yeah.
Let me just jump up to there real quick just to see if, just having it right here right now, if I spot anything.
Sure. Also,
it looks like there's maybe some stormtrooper helmets painted on there with like X's across them.
Mm.
I saw one that looked like a very crude depiction of C-3PO's head.
See, I did notice that one. That kind of looked to be what it was, but I didn't know.
Yeah, but it kind of looked like C-3PO's head and Gollum's face at the same time. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was about to say, and I was talking over Evan, but I am out on my front porch once again. So again, cars potentially, people just being people. So anyway, though, he approaches this building and approaches a dark Twi'lek, who's kind of like standing guard, and he says he's there to see Gor Kolesh, which sounds like an Indian dish. But he ends up. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say before, like when he goes into the guard says like enjoy the fights, so it's like he's going into like a fighting arena, like the fighting pits type style of entertainment.
Right, and my very next line of note says, enter into a fighting arena.
Yeah.
Two beings that or creatures that look as if like a dwarf from Lord of the Rings was mixed with a Skyrim orc are fighting.
They're I'm
And
trying to think of their names. Do you know what the actual name of the race
I
is?
don't know because I've seen them before.
It's like
in Star Wars.
Ganar. I'm trying to blank what they're called,
yeah,
but
I don't know.
we've seen them before. You see them. You'll end up seeing them in the Clone Wars. You see them for a brief couple scenes in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
You see them in the original trilogy. Like, it's a pretty common race throughout Star Wars. You just kind of see them in the background, though, is all.
Yeah, they're fighting. And Mando approaches this basically it's a Cyclops creature. He's got one eye. Asks for some information. Oh, Gamma Morians. That's what they're called.
There it is.
He asks for some information. They're watching the two fight. It looks like there's a wager going on. So it's like,
So,
go ahead.
I just want to say, though, these two Gamma Morians, right? It's literally like they just look like two people with pig heads.
Essentially, yeah.
Like, and again, I'm not trying to, like, talk down the show. It's just like this one spot is kind of like they kind of went a little cheap on the.
Well, yeah, but I think also
the costumes. I guess.
I mean, but think about it this way. I feel like it is an existing character that was set in a time where they probably didn't do as much regarding their makeup necessarily, So it's like they're probably just mimicking the style. That's probably nothing, really on the show itself.
I can see that.
Anyway, though, he's talking to the Cyclops creature, whatever. They talk of gambling, and eventually guns are drawn. Once this, and then this, because he's saying who he's betting on, and he's essentially, this Cyclops is like, it's rigged because he shoots the opponent to the one he's rooting for. He just draws his gun, shoots the Gamorrean that's fighting. And then they all draw their guns on Mando.
Oh, it'd be what it be.
He talks. What?
I said, it'd be what it be. Mando's used to getting guns pointed at him.
Honestly, he is.
They induce panic though, because he fires, they all point their guns at Mando, and then all the audience just go running for their lives.
Yeah. They just take off running. But he talks of harvesting their shiny shells, his armor.
Yeah, getting their Beskar.
Mando tells him to tell him the information, or he's going to kill all of them. And we see him arm his... what were those called? They were whistling something.
It's like is it whistling or is it whispering? Whispering...
I thought it was whistling.
Whistling or whispering something.
Dang, okay, I was hoping you would know. I would have looked it up if I...
what it's called, but it cracks me up though, because as soon as he gets ready to arm them, the child reaches out and closes the pod.
Yeah, he just lunges forward, reaches out, and slaps the button that were to close the pod that the child's in. So the child's like, oh, and does that and backs up and secures himself.
Well, and then the one Gamorrean that's still alive jumps out of the ring and tries to land on Mando. He just steps to the side and the Gamorrean just belly flops onto a bench and breaks it.
Yeah. By the way, really quick,
Jacob, if you're talking, I can't hear you. Oh, no, I can hear
if my internet will load, I'll show you, or I'll say what those weapons were called, but it's not wanting to load. Come on. Okay, whistling bird. Whistling birds.
Oh.
I guess. I thought it was a little bit more than that, but apparently it's just that. So, cool. I kind of feel stupid for not remembering that. But anyway, he fires it, and everybody that was aiming guns at him is dead except for the Cyclops. But then everyone kind of still running away. There's still panic kind of going on. But now the Cyclops tries to run away.
And I want to say, I don't know if you had heard me when I did the Gamorrean.
Yeah, that happens too. But
Yeah, well, and because they get into a little scuffle, and one dude like bear hugs him from behind, and then like another one goes to punch him in the head, hits his helmet, and basically makes him headbutt the guy
oh
behind.
yeah.
And then he's just hilarious, but then he just starts doing his thing and just. Oh, I didn't even realize that before. At one point, the one of them tries to swing at him, and he just headbutts the dude's fist.
He does what?
One of the guys tries punching Mando, and Mando just headbutts his fist. It's like pa-chunk. Now your hand hurts.
Yeah. But
we see Mando doing his thing. He pulls out what is like viro blade dagger thing, and just kind of does his thing and kills them all while Cyclops runs out, like you said.
He catches the Cyclops guy, though, who, again, Gore is his name, but I'm just going with Cyclops. He shoots the grappling hook thing that he has at the Cyclops and, like, wraps his feet and just starts dragging him close to him. And then...
and then just straight up, like, hangs him upside down, like, throws the hook over, like, a light post and ties it off.
And, the Cyclops says he'll give him the information, but only if Mando doesn't kill him. Which I feel like is kind of a... like, what kind of bargain is that? It's like, once he gets the information, you're no longer used to him. So it's like... I feel like that's kind of not a great, like, bargaining thing. Because it's like, I'll only give you the information if you don't kill me. It's like, well, the only option is for him not to kill you until you give the information. Like, you know...
Well, see, I think the thing with Mando, it works out this way because, like, Mandalorians are supposed to be held to their word. Like, if they break their word, they break their like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just, like, a part of their code type deal. Like, if they break their word, they just become untrustworthy, and it's, like, a great offense to them.
Okay, so they're more so, like... beliefs. They are known to stay true to their word. So this is kind of a...
Yeah.
And there's the bells. Just a second.
Continue if you're still muted. I'll just.
I'm back. It stopped. The church bells in my town were just going off for anybody who doesn't know. But I jotted down the times. Yeah. We're all good. But Mando promises the Cyclops that he will not die by his hand. He then asks about the Mandalorian, like he's asking if there's any. I guess essentially like, do you know where he's at? You know. Because there's
because at this point it's kind of just like you get the feeling that Mando's looking for a specific Mandalorian, not just any Mandalorians. Like he's looking for a specific one. It's kind of the feel I get from this,
right? Because
although it wouldn't surprise me if he is looking for just any Mandalorians just to meet up with. To
true, but I thought it
get some.
Well, I guess yeah. He's asking for a Mandalorian.
I guess I could see it going either way. Either he's looking for a very specific one, or he's just looking for some Mandalorians so he can get some help.
Right.
You know? I could see it going either.
Yeah. But he replies with saying that apparently there's one on Tatooine in a town called Mos Pelgo. Now, really quick, do all of the Tatooine towns have moss in front of them? Because there's moss.
As far as I know, I don't think there's any. There's no towns that I've read or heard of on Tatooine that does not have moss.
Right, because there's Mos Pelgo, as we just learned. There's Mos Eisley. Isn't there Mos Espa as well? It's like there's all those, But
and I mean, we know Tatooine is a very it's a pure desert planet.
So there's probably not too many.
So I'm sure there's not very many towns anyways. There's probably, as far as we know, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's only 4 towns total that we know of on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Mos Pelgo being the 4th.
Yeah.
Because there's Mos Eisley, Mos whatever the one you said.
Dear God. Mos Espa, Mos Pelgo, whatever. There's some dude with
Mos Espa, Mos Eisley, Mos Pelgo, and I'm drawing a blank on the 4th, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
The 4th might be a ruin of a town.
Oh.
at this point in Star Wars, but at one point there was a fourth.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, though, so he gives him the information, and Mando walks away. And as he's walking away, he shoots out the light that he's hanging from, and those red eyes just start closing in on the Cyclops as he screams. And, I mean, you know, Mando stays true to his word. He said that he would not die by his hand. But he's leaving him for the hounds, you know.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure what those are. 'Cause, like, if you look really closely, you can get a little bit of an outline, but it's very, like, fuzzy.
Yeah, all you really see is the eyes.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you really look, like, get right up there on your screen and look. Like, you can see one or two in the background, even further back, where you get a very, very rough outline, but like I said, it's very fuzzy. And they do have almost a little bit, from what I could tell just now, even, it was just a little bit of, like, almost like a dog type shape. A dog or wolf type shape, you know? But I couldn't tell you what those are.
Yeah. I don't know. But right here we get the title card, you know, where it rolls in. It's like Mandalorian, you know, and does his, like, you know, thing.
Yeah.
And then we exit out of that. We enter in. We see the Razor Crest coming in and landing in Tatooine with some kind of upbeat orchestral music going. And then we see a previous episode's sponsor, Pell. We see her. We meet her again. And
we did get to see a Tusken Raider on his band.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't make a note of that. I don't remember it, but okay.
Yeah, as Mando's flying, it just shows a Tusken Raider look up at his ship as he's flying into Tatooine. Is all it is. But
I see. Well,
yeah, previous sponsor.
Pell.
And her dinky little droids.
And her pit droids approach Mando's ship, but she's like, guys, get away from him. You know, stay away. He doesn't like droids. But he kind of comments, and this shows kind of a little bit of a, you know, a callback to IG-11, because he's like, well, I don't know, maybe it could use a once-over kind of thing. Like, he's a little more, like, I don't know about trusting, but he's more okay with it. So they go and do that.
Yeah, I think it's more of, like, he knows who this is.
More of, like, a familiarity of her, not so much droids in general.
I would say he's still very wary of droids. He's come around just a smidgen because of the whole IG-11 thing where it was protecting the child at the end of last season, you know? So, I mean, there might be a tiny bit of a development where he's a little not at odds with droids, but I think this is more of a...
Yeah, and
he knows her, he knows she's not going to, like, screw him over.
Right, and the more you say it, you saying that, not the more you said, you barely said anything, but you saying that, I didn't really think of that angle. That's probably what's going on here, because he knows
that would be my
because he knows her at this point.
Yeah,
you know, so.
But I do like how he pulls the child around and she's like, "Thanks the Force."
She's like, "Thank the Force," because she gets to see him again. She loves that little green guy. But yeah, and actually at this point, before we really continue, we do have another ad from our sponsor, Pell. So, traveler, are you once more in need of a babysitting service? Maybe your ship needs a tune-up, just a once-over. Maybe you need travel guidance or a speeder rental. Pell has you covered. Check in with her and tell her that Your In-Depth sent you, and she will gladly help and even offer a 10% discount to any and all of her offered services. She is even a proud listener of this podcast and knows that we referred to her as Fran. As a result, and in the spirit of our podcast, she has opened and stationed many beverage and speeder rental kiosks scattered throughout the sands of Tatooine. So be on the lookout for her new business, Fran's Sand Stand. You can even find the central office, to which she titled Fran's Grand Sand Stand.
Oh my God.
This place is located in Mos Espa and has all the things you could ever want. She offers up drinks, body disposal, ship repairs, daycare, speeder rental, and many more. She even She even offers up many preserved goods, one of which is a spreadable concentrate made from berries that she has put into a can. It has been used before, so it's a bit of a hand-me-down, but check it out. It's officially titled the Franz Grand Sandstand Brand Second-Hand Can Jam.
Oh my god!
Check it out today and Radio Pell.
Yes!
Anyway, I had fun with that one. But,
Oh my word.
And now a word from our actual sponsor. Anyway, but Mando
Back to the
borrows...
episode.
Yeah, Mando borrows the speeder bike from her. He has the child on a little side pouch as he goes, which I thought was kind of cute and funny. But he stops and asks some raiders for guidance and kind of sits with them around like a fire, I want to say, and just seeking guidance, and then continues along after a little bit. I lost my spot. Hold on. He's basically like going across the planet. Like, this is what it looks like. He's going a while away.
When he's talking to Pell, she has one of the droids pull up a map, on R2 and pull up a map.
Yeah.
And she refers only to 3 towns, which is Mos Espa, Mos Eisley, and then Mos Pelgo.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, Mos Espa and Mos Eisley are right here and here, relatively close. And then Mos Pelgo is way over here. So, like, it's a long ways away from, like, everybody.
Yeah.
It's like the boonies of Tatooine. Which is saying something, because, like, Tatooine is all the boonies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But he's going across the planet. Yeah, he's traveling to it. And he finally finds it, and he enters into town, which it looks like, or it is, an old mining settlement.
Yeah, and it's definitely got that, like, Old West kind of feel to it, you know?
Yeah. And,
like, very small. You can barely even call it a town.
Yeah, really.
You know, like, a couple buildings, and that's about it.
Yeah. And, this town, I mean, it looks pretty desolate. It doesn't get a lot of visitors by the look of it, and a lot of the residents are just kind of eyeing down Mando. Like, they're just like, oh, what's this? Watching him as he enters in.
And I mean, like, anybody that's seen, like, an old Western movie, you know, like, it's the same thing like the old Western movies. Like, a stranger comes into town, and everybody's out there staring at him as they come in. Like, who's this? What's he want? Is he going to cause trouble? You know, type of feel to him.
Right. So, but Mando pulls up and he finds the Armadillo Saloon, and leaves the child in his speeder. Like, he leaves him outside, and the child ends up. We see him waddle around the corner, like he follows him in.
Yeah.
But
I just love though how in all these different episodes, like, Mando's like, stay, and then like 2 minutes later you see the child just come waddling around the corner.
No, he doesn't. Yeah.
Like, he might not be like stay, but like he leaves the child there, like, stay there, kind of like he leaves him there, like, don't move, type of feel to it, and then the child just comes waddling around the corner. Yeah.
But Mando asks the bartender, who kind of has like a raspy Old West vibe to him, if he sees anyone who looks like him, looks like Mando. And the bartender says the marshal, who then walks in. And we see this skinny dude, like kind of skinnier dude, wearing Boba Fett's old armor. He grabs a blue drink, sits down, and takes off his helmet. And obviously, I mean, that kind of is a little bit of a flag for us. Not only do we notice whose armor it is, you know, but, like, you know. So, but he's like, he tells him that he's never met a real Mandalorian. So it's now obvious that he's not one. But
yeah, and I mean, for Mando, though, like, just the fact they took off his helmet is a red flag for Mando.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, immediately he's probably like, all right.
Because as we know from, like, Mando's background, like, he never takes his helmet off. He doesn't let people see his face. Like,
right.
And with his enclave that he was a part of, like, none of them did that, you know? So just the fact that this guy is taking off the Mandalorian helmet, it's an instant red flag for him, you know?
Right. But he offers him a drink. We learn that the marshal's name is Cobb Vanth, and he is the Marshal of Mos Pelgo. We kind of learn a little bit about how he got the thing, a little bit. He bought the armor that he's wearing off of some Jawas. Mando immediately gets off kind of like to a aggressive kind of start, and he's like,
yeah, I mean, Mando like demands the armor.
Yeah, he's like, take it off. Like, it's not yours. You're disgracing it by wearing it, essentially, you know?
Yeah.
And, so...
Because he even says, like, take it off, or I will.
Right, yeah. And, we have this bit of a standoff here as Cobb is like... I mean, he's not going to give up the armor, but Mando's demanding it. But as they're kind of in this, like, this, you know, literal, almost quick draw... the ground starts shaking as they were there, and Raylan Givens holds up his finger, and it kind of like as a, you know, hold on, and then they go out into the street. And Evan, judging by, I don't think you've seen the movie or the show Justified.
No, I have not.
But this guy, his name's Timothy Oliphant. He's the main character in that show, and he's a U.S. Marshal. Who it has like strong, like kind of old west kind of carrying yourself type vibe, but it's in like modern times. So his name's Raylan in that. But it's funny to me to see him cast as this role, because seeing how he acts is like exactly how he is in that show. He's a little, and later on we'll see like a line that's delivered that's right in line with Raylan's character in Justified. I'll point it out when we get to it. But anyway, yeah. So the ground's rumbling, and he's just kind of like, "All right, hold on." And they both make out to their. They both make out. They make it out to the.
It's a huge. At this point.
No. But anyway, so they make their way out to the door. As they're out there. Everyone's like running and getting into their houses. Somehow the wind kind of picks up. Yeah. Yeah,
and you even see like the little like rat looking style things, like they all like pop their heads up and scurry off.
Yeah.
Like you see like a bantha's face, and it's like it raises its head, like what's going on?
Yeah, and everyone's running though. Yeah, getting into their houses. The wind picks up. We see the sand moving all along the street. Kind of like, I mean, something's tunneling under it, you know? Yeah,
and we even get to see what appear to be like, I guess the best way to equate it would be like a shark's fin, right?
There's...
towards the surface of the water, like it's up above the water, you know?
Right, there's a couple of like
multiple
scales, or like fins, like you said. Or,
it's like multiple of those right in a row.
Yeah, so there's something, you know, tunneling, and this thing's obviously big. Whatever it is. And then we see it approaching a bantha. And which by the way, if anybody, you know, I mean, I think we've talked about what banthas are, but if anybody does not know, imagine a yak that had a bunch of helium blown into its head, and then also it melted it so its face was droopy. That's what it essentially looks like. But
with ram horns.
Yeah, exactly. But it approaches a bantha, and it just jumps up. It's got a bunch of teeth, and it just takes it out, like it eats it. Yeah,
my best way to equate this to something is think of a sand version of a megalodon.
Yeah, or like
Mm-hmm. And for those that don't know what a megalodon is, take the great white shark, make it like 20 times bigger, and that's a megalodon.
Essentially.
For those that don't know what that is, and then just basically like take that and make it a sand version, like it lives under the sand.
Yeah,
that's much. Essentially what we have here.
Yeah. So Cobb then turns to Mando, and he's like, "All right, maybe we can work something out." Meanwhile, we see the child emerge from a little, like a jug that he was hiding in. We learn a bit more as they talk. This creature has been terrorizing the town for a while. Cobb put on the armor to kind of help protect the people of the town. Not necessarily from that, because he put it on before that, but we kind of learn also where he kind of came in with the armor.
Well, I mean, for him though, like you said, he ended up getting the armor before this showed up.
Right.
But it's like his thing is like, so like a lot of people in the Star Wars universe would love to have Mandalorian armor for its sturdiness, its ability to protect you and whatnot.
Yeah.
He's not. I would say he doesn't have that approach. His approach is, I'm using this armor to protect the people.
Right.
Not myself. I'm doing this for the people. I'm not trying to be selfish about it. You know, I think it's his whole thing.
Exactly. No, and I think that, yeah, I mean, that definitely seems to be his motive. You know, it's not so much like protect his own self and do what he wants because now he's all the more powerful, you know, because of it. He's become the marshal of the town because he wants to protect them. He cares about them, you know.
Yeah.
But basically, he tells Mando that if Mando helps Cobb kill Smaug, then he will give him the armor, and they make the deal.
Nice, I like it. Nice.
Yeah, well, you know, but so they make the deal, and it's like, okay, yes, we'll do this.
Yeah, well, and Mando even says like, I'll just go get my ship and blast it and use a bantha for bait.
Right.
And Cobb even says like, well, if you get in your ship and come over here, it can sense the vibrations of the ships, and it just won't come up to the surface.
It'll just stay underground.
Yeah.
And
so it's like, it's already, I think at that point, it's just them trying to establish that this is not going to be an easy, quick, oh, it's dead type of thing. Like, Mando can't just use his ship to blast it.
Right.
You know? Like, it's going to take some ingenuity. It's going to take some real firepower, but obviously can't use a ship for it.
Let's do a quick throwback to George W. Bush. It's going to take some strategery.
Absolutely.
But anyway, so he says he knows where it lives, and it's not far away. So they speed along to check out the home or the hiding place of it.
I just have to say the speeders that they have.
Yeah.
Mando's speeder is a normal speeder, but Cobb's speeder looks like one of the engines from Anakin's pod racer from Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it's huge. Like he's got basically like a sports car one, I feel, or muscle car, you know, it's just amped up.
But it literally looks like he took one of those two engine pieces for Anakin's pod racer from Phantom Menace and then just reworked it to turn it into a speeder.
No, it looks, it definitely looks like that. So they're zipping along, and his speeder's definitely a little higher quality, not quality necessarily, but jacked up a little bit more.
We even get a little bit of background for the town too here.
Yeah, and I was just about to mention that.
Yeah, and so they're talking while they're on their speeders, and Cobb talks about basically like bandits coming in and basically stealing from the town and whatnot.
Yeah,
and we get an actual reference of time when it starts. Like after they got the news of the second Death Star getting blown up is when it started.
Well, right, yeah, because they're all in that tavern, that bar, that saloon, whatever you want to call it, because it's an Old West, so kind of like theme. So I want to say like saloon, but
yeah.
We get a flashback of that, and the people are celebrating in there because the second Death Star just blew up. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, there's no longer the Empire's junk. But they barely had any time to celebrate because then that night some must have been bandits. I don't know who they were really.
So he says the Mining Collective, which I just assume is
probably like mercenaries, right? Like hired by a mining company.
I assume they're it's just like an outlaw group.
Maybe
would be my assumption. Like kind of I would almost say like a warlord and his crew type deal. I would say, except obviously warlords go for taking over towns and stuff like that and occupying. I think, whereas they're just demanding payment, essentially.
Yeah. But they come in and they just start shooting people.
Yeah.
And enslaving the residents, essentially. And Cobb was able to take off, and he grabbed some stuff from the invaders, all that he could take. And he's explaining, it's I kind of got lucky because it was a bag of, or is a thing of silicax crystals. Which, I take it that those are just highly valuable, but what exactly are those?
I honestly couldn't tell you for sure. Like you said, I would say they're just very valuable gems.
Yeah, they essentially are gems, but I didn't know if they had any significance or they were just, but Anyway, and so he had wandered, just like he left the town and he just wandered for days. And like it looked like he was out of water, like he kind of collapsed a little bit, but then we see the moving fortress that is the Jawa's fortress just roll up and stop. So they picked him up, they gave him some water, and they found the crystals. And immediately, because these little things are constantly trying to get everything valuable,
they're just greedy little pieces of crap.
They really are. I cannot stand Jawas. I hate them. But in this case, it ends up actually being good because they wanted that. They gave him some water. They wanted the crystals, though. So they offered all their finest things to trade with him. At least they're like looking to trade, because like usually we just see him scavenging and ripping apart people's stuff. But
exactly.
Anyway, yeah, and so they wanted to trade with him, and he was like, he wasn't interested in anything they were offering, but he looked over to the left and we see Boba's armor. Which, by the way, okay, I noticed this in this one. Does Boba's armor have a mudhorn on it?
No.
What is that?
It would not.
It has a red symbol on it. And it looks like a mudhorn.
So it's not a mudhorn. That would just be a decorative thing put on the armor. Is all it is.
Okay.
Because when you look at Boba and Jango Fett, right?
Yeah.
Boba is obviously, as we know, a clone of Jango.
Correct.
Jango Fett was a foundling. But he left the Mandalorians before he completed like their rite of passage, like their final test to become a true Mandalorian. He left and became a mercenary before completing that trial. So that's why you get the whole debate of like, well, is Boba Fett an actual Mandalorian? Is Jango Fett an actual Mandalorian? It's like, he kind of is because he got all the training and whatnot from him, but he's not because he didn't complete the trial to become a full-fledged Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have like any sort of symbol of like defeating a really strong like opponent, and like kind of like Mando does with the Mudhorn. Jango wouldn't have that. Jango's armor is Boba's armor.
Well, okay, but like that symbol on his thing, like maybe it's decorative, but is it not a Mudhorn?
No, it's not.
It looks very similar to one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but it's not a Mudhorn.
I think we
it's kind of just like a decal for a car, like how people put decals in their cars. I assume just kind of equated to the same thing. Nice. It's a decal for his arm.
Well, later on we see a closer look at it, I'm pretty sure, so maybe, I don't know, maybe we can make it out a little bit more since you got the episode there. I think it's when they see the Krayt Dragon. But anyway, so Cobb, took that. That's what he traded the crystals for. And he comes back into that bar with wearing it. And he just shot everybody. Scared off the rest, but as they left, as they sped off, he aimed the back, like, rocket that he's got on his back and just fires it and blows him up. But anyway, now back to regular, back to the present. Mando and him go along this ravine, and they stop because they hear something, which ends up being like these wolves kind of things, or wargs maybe. But as they're kind of like looking to like, I think Cobb especially is getting kind of defensive, like he's pulling out his gun almost.
Yeah, but, they both have their weapons out, like they're ready for something.
But Mando makes a noise kind of like he does when he talks to the Tusken Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And he then proceeds to talk to them. They're kind of like dogs after that. Like, they kind of like come up to him and they're like wagging his tail and like all excited.
Yeah, well, because the Tusken Raiders actually use those beasts as essentially hunting dogs.
Yeah, and as he's like kind of petting it, Tuskens, they come out. They like kind of emerge, and Mando talks to them. Through some interpretation back to Cobb, we learn that the Raiders want to kill that thing as well, the Krayt Dragon. So they talk a little bit more, and then they end up at their camp. Mando and the Tuscans talk in their language, and Cobb has absolutely no idea what's being said.
Yeah, and I do want to point out here too.
Yeah.
I do like how they're going on this route with the Tusken Raiders because, like, up until the Mandalorian show, right?
Mm-hmm.
As far as we knew, Tusken Raiders were like basically beasts that just kill to kill.
Yeah, and actually, and I remember when I was live streaming a while back, somebody in my chat, I can't think of who they were, brought up the idea. They're like, I really liked this recent Mandalorian episode because it does a little bit more, like just kind of furthering, kind of humanizing the Raiders. You know, they're not just these savages that just shoot whatever they want. You know, it gives a little bit more of like you learn a bit more about like kind of why they are a little more hostile. You know, and really they're just kind of looking out for themselves. You know. And
yeah, but I mean now though with the show, like we're getting to see that side of like they're actually sentient beings. They have their own language. They have their own civilization.
Yeah, we're learning a bit more about them.
They don't just shoot at everything they see.
Right, because in the previous movies, I feel like it was just the kind of thing where they're gonna, thrust their guns up and down, and they're just kind of doing the ooga booga kind of things, you know.
Yeah.
And like shooting, but this isn't. You know, that's not what this show's doing with them, and I do like that too. But yeah, they're talking a bit more. They talk in Tuscan. It looks one of the dogs is licking its lips at the child, kind of like you look tasty. But they crack open something. The Tuscan Raiders do. The Raiders, let's just say, and they give it to Cobb. He then asks what he does with it, and Mando's like, "You drink it." And he replies, he's like, "It stinks." Like, I don't wanna. But they know how many of their people Cobb has killed, and he gets all defensive, and it's kind of like, I defended our village. They raided our town. Like, he's getting angry, and then he throws the drink into the fire. Like, he's like, "No, screw you guys." And Mando's just like, "This was," or who says this was a bad idea?
I
think Cobb does.
He says this is a bad idea. Throws it into the fire.
And Mando's like,
the Tuscans get all like start getting mad and agitated and whatnot.
Well, right, because Mando, he's like, "You're agitating them," like kind of like, "Stop it." And then they start shouting at one another, and Cobb yells at them. And this was the line that I was talking about, is the absolute most like right in line with his character on Justified, because he's like, "Sit back down before I put a hole through you." Like, basically like, I'm sick of your crap. Sit down or I'm going to shoot you. Like, and they continue shouting, and Mando fires, like, he ends up like flamethrower
to
get their attention.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because as he does that, the child's sitting there and he just like squints, like, "It's bright." Like, but Mando continues talking, says kind of the same thing in both languages, like relaying what he's told them, and then I don't know, he says it, I think, in both things, or
he tells the Tusken Raiders and then tells Cobb, like, "You guys are fighting amongst yourselves when we need to be worried about the crate dragon." Right.
If we keep fighting amongst ourselves, that monster is going to get us. It's like we need to really focus on what the actual target is here. But they sit back down, and Mando asks how they kill it. Apparently the monster lives in an abandoned, and I think they're starting to move at this point, but we're still learning a bit more.
So they're all riding on banthas,
right?
Like to where the crate dragon's home is.
Yeah, and the monster apparently lives in an abandoned Sarlacc pit. And Cobb says, he's like, "There's no such thing as an abandoned Sarlacc pit." Mando replies with, "Well, there is if you eat the Sarlacc." Which
is weird, though. Yeah. Because the only time we actually get to see a Sarlacc pit, say Sarlacc in it, is Return of the Jedi.
Right, where Boba falls into it.
Yeah,
That's the same scene.
In that, it doesn't look that big, but when you look at the comics and whatnot, you get more insight into them, and they're humongous creatures, like gigantic.
Yeah, so really, I mean, you look at it like that, and I know that, like, in my mind, I don't know the full extent how big they are, but, like, thinking about it, it's like, to be in that pit, it's like you probably are you're in there,
yeah,
right?
So it's like dug down in there, and only its mouth and, like, some tentacles are coming up from the pit.
Right. But, like, even then, him saying that kind of gives a little bit more, like, I guess, insight as to how big this thing is.
Yeah.
But a Tusken Raider, as they approach it, they find it. A Tusken Raider leads a bantha out, and then drives a post in the ground to keep it tied to, and then he starts making noises into this cave, to wake up the monster, and it roars back. So then the Tusken takes off running, but the crate dragon, the monster, it comes rushing out, but it doesn't eat the bantha. No, it eats the Tusken.
Yeah, it completely ignores the bantha and then eats the Tusken Raider.
Right. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's like, I'm not hungry, but I'm angry kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm going to get you.
Yeah, more or less, like, you woke me up, I eat you now.
Mm-hmm. But their goal was to feed it so that it sleeps, and then they can go in and kill it, I'm pretty sure. But now they're back to the drawing board because it just ate one of their own. It didn't eat the huge bantha.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, now we got to figure out what's going on. But
it cracks me up too, because like they're going over their strategy, and they've got a little like skeleton laid out to show the crate dragon, and little pebbles around it to show the people. And Cobb's like, "What's that supposed to be?" He's like, "That's the crate dragon." All right, where are the little pebbles? That's us. He's like, "That can't be right. That's not the size." Mando's like, "Yeah, it is. That is the size comparison there." He's like, "Can't be. That's too big."
Like, so
there's no way.
Yeah, so he's really learning, like, this thing is huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, they see the real size of it. Mando volunteers Cobb's village even to help kill it, so they have more in number. And they end up speeding back. Cobb doesn't really seem to, like, gung-ho about that, but they go back and they start, like, addressing the people to kind of, to get them to recruit them. That's the word I was looking for, to recruit them.
Yeah.
But Cobb
need more peeps.
Yeah. But Cobb is doubtful that they'll listen to to Mando. So he's gonna say it. He goes in and he just lays it all out to him, and as soon as he mentions the Sand People helping, they all object. They're like, no, they killed us, like that kind of thing. And Mando steps up to mention the thing's size, says the Sand People's expertise of the Krayt Dragon kind of is like, okay, they know it better than anybody. If we have any shot at taking this thing, we need them. And then just kind of lays out the deal, in that. Mm-hmm. He says that the Sand People have even sworn not to raise a blaster to the townsfolk unless they break the peace. And they end up agreeing to help. So they start getting supplies ready, and the Tuskens kind of come in on their bantha and join them.
Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. What's gonna work?
Teamwork.
Yeah. So, gosh dang it. Anyway, though, so yeah, they're loading up their their stuff, kind of getting their supplies.
Yeah, I mean, they're loading a bunch of. It looks like, honestly, they're loading a bunch of explosives onto like.
Right.
I don't even know what you would call it.
I don't know, but they're loading up a bunch of explosives, and one of the Tuskens, as he's holding it, he drops it, and the townsfolk just kind of blows up at him, but Cobb diffuses the situation. See what I did there? I'm stupid.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
Boy.
So they travel across the desert, though, with their supplies. And they approach the cave entrance. And the Tusken approaches the cave entrance, walking, and feels the ground. And you can kind of hear snoring going on. So he can probably tell through the vibration of the ground and just the sounds. It's like this thing's asleep.
Yeah, nothing like just going into a cave and poking a sleeping bear.
yeah, why not, you know? But they begin, like, digging down and laying out all the explosives. And their goal is that if they can get it above ground, the belly of it is the only weak spot. So they have to get it from underneath. Yeah. So if they can get it to come up, then, and they detonate these.
They can just blow it up.
Right, like, and so it'll, you know, that'll get it.
Pretty much, yeah.
But anyway, so they have to get it angry enough, though, to charge them. So kind of a new goal here. But regardless, they're you know, burying the bombs.
Well, I mean, the Sand People, too, have, like, these giant ballistas as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what they're planning on doing with those, but if they have to use explosives on the underbelly just to try and kill it, what are those ballistas really going to do?
Yeah. But, yeah. So Tuskens kind of start making their donkey noises to wake it up, and then they start running. It charges them, and then they shoot it with their harpoon kind of things, but it's not raising up, and it actually starts retreating back into the hole. Like, not retreating, but like going back in.
Yeah.
And Mando says something like dank ferric. I don't know what that means.
I think it's just another, like, gosh darn it, like...
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of... I
Star
feel
Wars
like it's
version of cuss
used.
Words.
Yeah, essentially it's you know, oh, gosh dang it, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they need like to get it back out and aggressive and angry enough, and Cobb says, like, as it's there, he's like, I'm gonna hit the detonator, like, I'm gonna do it, and Mando's like, no, we only have one shot at this. So then they start, like, getting a little angrier. They're throwing bombs at it, they're shooting at it, they're trying to just tick it off,
just make it as mad as possible to get it to come out.
And it does come back out, and this time, up into the air, but not far enough. But then it just spews acid vomit at these Tuskens and melts some of them. Like, it's got another nasty. It's got another attack that we didn't know it had.
That's just nasty.
But as it's up and it like lands back down, Cobb detonates the bombs, and then it sinks back underground, and there's just complete silence. And Cobb kind of makes the comment, he's like, I don't think this thing's dead. And Mando replies with, me neither. Like, I don't think this worked.
It's kind of like, we didn't think this through. What do we do now?
Or basically, like, I mean, they thought it through. I'd say more of like, it's like well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Now what?
My thing is, though, like, that's a big explosion that goes off, and, like, it's still not dead.
Yeah,
you know, like,
really.
Dear Lord, what's it going to take to kill the thing?
Right. But we see it burst out of the mountain and start spewing acid at all of them. Cobb and Mando fly up to get to it, and they start trying to shoot it in the eye, but they keep missing. Then eventually they return back to the ground, and it comes up through the ground from behind them, and Cobb gets its attention and gives Mando the detonator. Wait. Yeah, that's the plan now. Cobb is going to get its attention, and he gives Mando the detonator, and essentially Mando has a plan.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I'm going to do this. Give me the detonator.
As Mandalorians do.
Well, but he's like, he asks Cobb to wish him luck. We then see Mando has a bantha that is just strapped with explosive. So essentially, he's going to get it to eat this thing, and then he's going to blow it up. I mean,
got all the boom booms.
Yeah, blow it up from the inside. Big boom boom. So, hold on.
And then he uses the butt of his rifle and hits Cobb's, hits his jetpack to send him like away, and tells Cobb to take care of the child.
Yeah. He's like, gets him out of the way. He's like, go, gets him to safety more so.
Yeah.
And
but he's basically like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself to kill this thing. Let it eat me and the bantha.
Yeah. But it jumps up and it does eat him and the bantha. He takes it. And then there's just nothing. The end. Thanks for joining this week. No, but then next time we're gonna get back into the Clone Wars because this was the end of the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Kicking off season 1 or season 2 with a season finale. So,
but yeah, like nothing's going on, and they're all like looking around, like wondering what's going to happen. Like, where's it at? Like, oh man, he's dead. What do we do? And it's just no one knows what's going on at this point. Sand people or townsfolk, like everybody's just lost.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, it comes like lurching out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Mando comes flying out of its mouth with his jetpack, and like we see like electricity, like he used like the taser end of his like long rifle. But anyways, so he detonates the bombs, and it actually this time it does kill the crate dragon because it blew it from the inside.
I mean,
everybody's celebrating. Dead. Yeah, everybody's celebrating. The Tuskens are doing their Tusken chants as a Tusken does.
Yeah, and Mando, when he landed, he was just completely covered in slime. But yeah, they're all celebrating.
Well, and we even get like a sky view of it, and you can see like a big bunch of its ribs, where like the explosion just blew it all off, and then you see like the Tuskens like trying to harvest the meat, and like he damn near blew it in half.
Yeah, and the child is sitting next to one of these pieces of meat that they're kind of wrapping up. These things, I mean, there's a ton of meat. This thing is huge.
Yeah, well, because Mando is like putting a piece onto a speeder.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and but Cobb approaches Mando and gives him the armor. And it's just kind of like he says that he hopes their paths cross again one day, and Mando agrees. And as he gave him the armor, he like kind of turns back as he's like they say goodbye, and he's like, oh, and tell your people, by the way, I wasn't the one who broke that. like that wasn't me, by the way.
He's like, tell them that I don't want them hunting me down. Please tell them I don't want a Mandalorian showing up to kill me.
Yeah, essentially.
But it goes back to the Tusken Raiders, and one of them finds what looks like, in my opinion, just a giant pearl.
Like a what?
It looks like a giant pearl.
Yeah, it definitely looks like just a giant pearl. Like you said, just huge though. Honestly, a little bit bigger than probably a basketball.
But if I'm not mistaken, though, that's actually a Krayt Dragon egg.
Yeah, and that's what I wrote in my. That's what I wrote in my notes. I thought it was an egg. Kind of looks like one, but also a pearl. Yeah. But it looks like an egg. Who knows though? I mean, I guess I don't know what it is. But anyway, so they're cheering. Mando is getting. He's gotten back onto I think speeder, right? He's taken
he's
off
on his
back
speeder,
to his...
and you see him zipping off back to town.
Right, and as he's going across, we kind of zoom out, and there's just this mysterious figure watching him, and it's kind of looks like a wanderer in the desert, He's got a hooded robe. He's got like one of those. I mean, it looks like a staff, with like an acorn on the top of it.
Yeah, and
But,
that's
like,
actually a
it's-
bantha stick,
Okay.
is what it is.
Yeah.
So just think, it's essentially just a staff with a really heavy end. So think of like maybe like a mace,
Like a
but with a very
warhammer.
long handle,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. But as we exit the episode, he turns around and who is it, Evan?
It's Captain Rex.
It's Commander Cody. Bly. He survived. I don't know.
No, but it's Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Is who we get to see here.
Yep. I mean, I guess technically
and
it
as
could
we
have
can
been
see,
any
like
of the clones.
his face is still scarred.
But
You know, and so it's like, and that's basically from his time in the Sarlacc pit.
probably,
Is that
yeah.
scarring.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, he's seen better days. He looks scarred, you know, kind of like he's been through some stuff. But yeah, he just walks towards the camera a little bit. We see Tamara Morrison, which is the actor that plays all the clones, or you know, the live action look of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then end episode. It's freaking Boba Fett. He's alive.
Yeah, and I'm really glad they did this because there was always theories about Boba Fett somehow surviving the Sarlacc pit because of his Beskar armor. And they actually had a comic that came out about him surviving, so I'm really glad they actually, like, he survives. I'm really glad they actually confirmed it.
Yeah, me too. I love that they did that.
Well,
Wow,
and the thing
that
is,
a
too,
really
like...
garbage truck. Anyway, yeah.
Well, and the thing is, though, too, like, in the original trilogy, you only... I can't remember what it is, but it's very minimal screen time for Boba Fett. But,
Yeah,
like,
really.
audiences loved him, like, instant.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, fun fact about Boba Fett, I saw a thing recently where it was, like, saying that, you know, the guy who originally was in that armor, apparently only really got the role because he fit in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a thing where it was like, I don't know, I don't know who he, like, was. I thought he was working with him or something, but apparently the main reason, or, like, one of them was that he fit in the armor. I don't know if that's true.
That's kind of funny.
I think that's kind of funny if he did, though, because that's such an iconic, you know, role, really.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of minimal as far as, like, you know, but it's still.
Yeah, and like I was saying, like, Boba Fett in the original trilogy only has, like, I think it's, like, maybe 15 or 20 minutes of screen time, if that.
Yeah. But he still became
but he's
pretty...
still, like, an iconic character of Star Wars.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of Chapter 9. You should be listening to this. If it came out, you know, if you're listening to it as it came out, this should be Monday, so we will, you know, you'll hear from us again on Thursday when we cover the next part of The Hobbit, which I believe is part 2 of Desolation of Smaug. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
So...
Sure, we'll go with that. Sounds right.
Yeah, I don't really know. But, yeah, actually, I'm really, really hoping that this next one... Okay, actually, not this next one, but the next... When we cover Chapter 10 of The Mandalorian, I'm really hoping that it'll be another in-person recording. Because next weekend, I'm going to go visit Evan. I don't know if we'll end up recording. But
let's be honest, we will.
I really hope we do. And hey,
come on,
we may actually even have a guest because Charlie's coming out with us, with me. So I mean, I'm not just going to exclude him. So yeah.
Hey Charlie, need you to go wait in the other room there for an hour while we do some records.
Get out of here. We're busy.
Get out of here, you little rascal, you.
But anyway, yeah. So that was the
So. Yep, that concludes Chapter 9 of The Mandalorian.
It does.
Any questions that you guys have? We have the the Discord that you all can join and the email.
Yep.
Which will be links in the descriptions for those.
Yep.
We also have our goals. Every 1,000 downloads is a blooper reel. Every 100 reviews will be a live stream review where you guys can interact with us as we go over an episode or movie or whichever is, in line with when that actually happens.
Yeah, and
but
I also,
as I've said every time,
mm-hmm.
as I've said every time, that's really on you guys. If you guys want the, a live stream coverage where you guys can interact, that's all on you guys, leaving your reviews on Apple Podcasts. But
and touching on the 1,000 downloads, we are approaching 4,000 downloads. We're about, I think, 100 away from it. So with that, we should be coming out with another blooper reel pretty soon, if you guys keep listening and spread the word, tell it to your friends. If any of your friends like Star Wars or they just like stupidity, share it to them.
I mean, either or.
We pretty well embody it all here. We talk about Star Wars, and let's be honest, we're at times we are room temperature IQ. Evan. Hey, and even there, so Evan just said something. You guys won't know it because I'm going to edit it out. But hey, blooper reel material, all the more incentive. You want to hear what he just said? Anyway, I will plug 2 more things before we leave you for a couple days. And that is that I also I started up a Your In Depth Instagram and as well as TikTok, just to kind of give mainly more methods for you guys to, contact us, but also, just posting kind of more funnier and sometimes behind the scenes pictures of the podcast and what kind of goes into it.
Yeah.
It's mainly like recording tonight or there's a funny thing that happened. I don't know. I need to probably step it up with those, but there's those. All other links are in the description. We don't need to continue to draw it out.
And if you want to get more from myself and Jacob, we do have our respective YouTube channels, and Jacob does have his other podcast that he does.
Yep.
And you can find me on YouTube at Future Instinct.
Yep, and
Jacob.
I am at Rude, Crude, and Socially Unacceptable, and then the other podcast is called Down the Road. So you have plenty of things to go check out. Just links are in the description. Anyway, bye.
Peace.
Deuces.